Okay, so before I roll you guys into the next episode, I figured I'd make you guys this video even though I really don't want to, because today's May 30th and as you can see, the car is not done, dude. So I kind of had something unexpected happen in my life, and there's not much you can do. You just got to keep on moving forward. So um, yeah, I guess it's a good thing that it happened because now it actually gives me the time to do the car the way that I want to rather than going out there, busted or missing panels or leaking or something not working right. It actually gives me time to get everything squared away, make it look clean, make sure everything's going to function the way that it should. And yeah, I guess we'll show you guys where the car sits and what's left with it to where it's running and driving. So the front and rear bash bars are done. Let's pop off this guy and just give you guys a rundown on where everything sits. So grab a flashlight. Okay, so the cooling system's done as well. The coolant lines start right here. They come right in front of the starter. They dip down right here, run all the way to the back, and we'll go to the back in a second and show you guys where it couples up. But the exhaust is done. It couples up right there, crosses over, goes and dumps right next to this side of the engine, which a 3-inch straight pipe will go straight back. But the fuel system's done as well. Comes up, runs along the bell housing and attaches to the side of the trans tunnel, then runs along the frame rail to the back. Show you guys that right here. And then the drive shaft's completed. I also have the axles built. And then we come to the middle. I have the line for the hydraulic handbrake finished, and it comes to a T right back above the subframe, jumps over, and that's where it's going to connect to the double calipers. But here's where the coolant lines couple up. I'm missing a coupler right here, but they come all the way up top, and then they link up in the back. So I believe that's pretty much as far as I got. But the car, it needs what's it need? Engine wiring, chassis wiring. The transmission has to get rebuilt because the input shaft and cluster gear are both missing a tooth. So I have both of those parts. All I have to do is press a bearing off of the input shaft and press it on the new one. But the whole trans has to come apart to get the cluster gear out. So once those things are done, the car theoretically will run and drive. But like I said, I'm actually going to make sure it's all clean, make sure it's not leaking, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to attempt the bodywork and paint myself. So what better car to learn on than, a car that you could care less about if it gets damaged. But I'd rather do it on this one than my black one. So there's a first time for everything, right? But I'll throw you guys into the next episode to show you guys all the work that got done. So what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is a continuation of video 2, but I decided to throw it in a different episode. That's why I'm like kind of dirty right now, but it is what it is. So this is episode 3, cooling system and fuel system. Top priority today. Today is also going to be a very good day because it's Christmas. So we have mild steel tubing for the bash bars, we have stainless for the cooling system, we have exhaust, we have coilovers, we have an AEM wideband, we have comp cam stuff, we have a cooling system stuff, we have fuel system stuff, we have intake stuff, we have all the front accessories for the engine inside this box, we have battery tray, we have some wiring up here, so we have pretty much everything needed to make this car run and drive, but it's just a matter of fact of getting everything done and put on the car. But I'm super happy with where the car sits right now, with it being only 20 days left. All the hard stuff is done. So other than that, let me go ahead and stop rambling and we'll get started on something. Alrighty guys, I decided to tackle the cooling system first. It took me this many tries to get the chop saw dialed in at 30 degrees. But if we come over here, we have one of the good pieces. Get it to stay, where it creates a nice little 90, like so. And then if I need to send a pipe at a 45-degree angle, all I have to do is cut it off and make it straight and then attach a pipe to it. But what I'm going to end up doing is taking that angle and rotating this pipe, cutting it at different intervals to where it'll create a different pattern to where I can maneuver it around to the back of the car. And with that being said, the radiator is sitting in the back, but this whole thing needs to get ripped out and redone because the radiator cap hits the top of the deck lid. So it's just a regular 2 or 3 core, I can't remember, aluminum radiator. Has a Mark 8 fan that pulls like 5,000 CFM or something like that. But other than that, let's get started. Hey guys, I'm running kind of low on stainless, so I can't really do anything else until the metal supply place opens tomorrow since it's Sunday. But as you can see, the lines are coupled up to the radiator, they come around the cage, and they drop down inside the wheel well right here where they're both cut off. This will allow us to put a silicone coupler right here and be able to disconnect the lines and remove them if need be, but it will also make them connect to the ones that are coming from underneath the frame rail. So I'll go ahead and grab some more stainless tomorrow and we'll go from there. But for now, we have the fuel system. We have some nylon braided line and a whole bunch of goodies in this box, but we have the factory Miata housing and pump assembly. I'm going to remove this pump since I have a Walbro 450 sitting right here. I'm going to remove this regulator since I bought a Corvette regulator. And then we have these little guys. They're 6AN weldable bungs. They will get welded on like so. And this will allow us to put a quick fitting on here and be able to disconnect it right here at the pump. So let's go ahead and get these guys welded on and the assembly complete, and we'll see how it turns out. guys, I got the fuel pump assembly finished. I put a rubber hose right here to dampen down the vibrations on the fuel pump. Then we come up here, I have the male and female connectors reversed to where you can't install the pump wrong. Then we come up top where I have the bungs welded to the old fuel lines and the 45s connected. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering why I just didn't run the old push lock style that was on it, and that's because the Miata came factory with a 5/16 fuel line, and we're upgrading to a 3/8. So I don't know if they make an adapter for it, although I do think that this idea is better, but essentially it's still going to do the same thing, so we'll go ahead and run it this way. All I have to do right now is pressurize the whole thing to make sure it's not going to leak anywhere, and I have to get a sock for the bottom of the fuel pump. But other than that, after work tomorrow, I'll run to the metal supply store, grab another stick of stainless, and then we'll continue along the cooling system. So I'll catch you guys later. Alrighty guys, sorry for not showing you a lot on the cooling system because it's pretty much just a lot of measuring and running to the chop saw, then running to the welder and just getting stuff done. But as you can see, the back's done. Come up underneath here. I need to build the ones that come up to the frame rail. Then we come around front. We have this little setup going on. These lines come down right here. And then, let me put the light down. They come up right here, and they're tucked up underneath the subframe like so. And then they'll wrap around the frame rail going to the back. So, that shouldn't be too hard from here on out. But, yeah, I guess we can get started on this exhaust right here. We're going to try to wrap it underneath these coolant lines, go underneath the oil pan, reach it around the other side. But the main issue right now is if we come over here, I don't have the manifold on it, but it dumps like right here next to the alternator. So I need to get some insulation to go around this wire so it doesn't get burned. Then I have to cut the manifold down just a little bit more and then put a super tight bend on it. But once we get past that, the exhaust should go fairly smooth. So let's throw you guys on a time lapse and we'll get started on this exhaust.
something to hold on to.
Got the exhaust all finished. We have the cast manifold running to a 2.5-inch pipe to a 2.5-inch V-band. And this guy right here is going to have to get TIG welded with the nickel filler rod as well, because we're going from cast to mild. But if we follow it down, we have a crossover that comes up behind the alternator. And then right there, that's where the driver's side grabs the crossover pipe. So if we come up to the driver's side, we have essentially the same thing. Cast manifold to a 2.5-inch pipe, and then numerous pie cuts to be able to get around this alternator plug. So, we come up underneath the car. We have a 2.5-inch V-band to a 3-inch, and the 3-inch will just be a straight pipe going back behind the rear axle. Everything is super tight on this side, but it does clear. So if we go like this, as you can see, it clears. Weird angle, so I can't really spin it. Yeah, so that clears, the engine mount clears, the steering rack clears, but like I said, it's super tight. And I don't think the engine's going to really torque over that much because it's on polyurethane mounts. So it shouldn't be an issue. And plus that leaves this whole side to where if I do end up going with a turbo later on, it'll be a rear mount and I could just run the charge pipe up on this side. So I'm pretty happy with where the car sits right now. And I guess we'll get started on the bash bars.
It's haunting, I feel you. Would you like me if I were prettier? I can jog, I'll get my skinnier. I'll take class to be this mortis part. I'll put out to get your attention. If I try, you're like, don't talk to me. I'm so miserable, cynical, emotional. You're so hard, I don't get the game to play. But you're wonderful, cynical, emotional. Emotional, emotional, emotional. We could be happy, but you hate me. You tell your stories, but it ain't me. Yeah, it's on a ship that's different. And I hate sorry, but it used me till I'm gone. Would you like me if I do what you want? Tell me fast, I'll see if I get down.